All right. So this Patreon request comes from... Actually, I got to look it up because I forgot. It completely left my mind. So just looking it up right here. God, we're so professional on this channel, aren't we? Yeah. So this one comes from Swift Blitz. And Swift Blitz asked me to do, as you can see right here, Courage the Cowardly Dog and... Courage the Cowardly Dog and versus Invader Zim, or however I'll title this. As always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon, where you guys can start sending requests for videos to do here on YouTube once you hit the 3rd tier. But other than that, hope you all enjoy this, and let's get started with the video. So the story begins in the skies over nowhere. And what is happening is that Zim and Gur are in the Voot Cruiser, and they were out collecting cows across the state because Zim has a new brilliant idea to conquer the Earth. He wants to make Mega Moo Cow Army with milk so potent it will create brain control milk that will allow him to control the stupid people of Earth. That's the plan. So he's been going around central, the Midwest of America, and collecting cows left and right. Well, unfortunately, you know, Gur got bored. He's like, I want to pet the moo cows, and started furiously playing with the controls on the Voot Cruiser, leading them to crash land in what is basically, they basically crash in the heart of nowhere. Like, they just crash out in the middle of nowhere, and Zim is like, Gur, you idiot! You've stranded us. Now we must find shelter from the harsh Earth environments. Get the Voot Cruiser, Gur. Okay. So he's Gur is just like trying to drag it along, going e. So Zim and Gur are headed, just going around trying to figure out where they could stay for the night while Zim is allowed to work on the Voot Cruiser in peace. And that's when they come upon a certain farm in the middle of nowhere, and Zim puts on his disguise real fast. And then he goes to knock on the door, and of course Eustace is the first person to open the open up. He's like, "What do you want? It's the middle of the night." "Good evening, sir and/or madam. I am Zim, totally normal Zim human being, and this is my dog Gur. Hello." So Eustace is like, "We don't want any." Slams the door, and of course Muriel's like, "Now Eustace, be nice. They look this young man and his dog look like they need help." Courage is of course looking through the window like that, this is clearly not a good idea, and even tries to tell them. And Eustace is still like, "I don't want them here. Send them away. They don't. I don't want vagrants living in my house for the night." And Zim is just like, I am no vagrant. I have money. See, and it's like drawn money that he hastily put together. And Eustace is so greedy, he's just like, "Yeah, this will cover your overnight rent. Yeah, this will work. Welcome to the farm." So he's like, my car was broken in a non-spaceship related accident. Can there be somewhere I can put it for the night? And so I may work on it later. And Eustace is like, sure, you can put it in the barn. Of course, Courage is still trying to warn Eustace and Muriel that something is just not right with these two. And of course, Eustace breaks out the old "Ooga booga booga," and of course, Courage screams and faints, leading to Zim is now invited in, and they're like, "Oh, you have a little dog, Zim. What's his name?" He's like, my name's Gur. And Muriel's just like, "Oh my, that's such a lovely dog. Courage, come play with Gur for a bit." So Gur and Courage and Gur are looking each other up, and he's like, "Hello, are you my new friend, Purple Dog? I like purple dogs." And then he just takes off his costume when they're alone, and of course Courage does the most logical thing and scream. He runs downstairs, tries to warn everyone in his miming. He's taking his skin off to reveal a robot and all that. And Eustace and Muriel are just like, "So Zim, where are you from?" "Oh, I am from California! Yes, that is where I am from the country of California. And Eustace is like, great, we got a Californian. At least your money's good. So, Courage is trying to figure out how to, like, get the better of Zim. Like, he's trying to figure out, like, how to, figure out what Zim is. And when he sees Zim go to the bathroom real quick, he's like, I must take a mighty dump. Goes to the where is your bathroom? Upstairs. Thank you. So he goes up there, and Courage is looking through the, like, keyhole, and he sees Zim, like, taking off his disguise, revealing his alien self, and Courage screams again. Runs downstairs, tries to, tell Eustace and Muriel, they don't believe him, gets another ooga booga booga, and Courage has to, like, oh, something weird is going on here, or my name isn't J.D. Vance, and I don't fuck couches. I swear that's the only one. Anyway, so Zim and Gur head back to the barn where they left the Voot Cruiser, and Zim is trying to, like, overlook, like, and see what kind of damage and how he can repair it, and he's just like, this wouldn't be a problem if you didn't break the ship, Gur. I do that every day. You make it sound like it's it's a bad thing. You're not wrong. Just find some tools so I can see if I can fix the Voot Cruiser and we can get out of here. Although, and Courage is hearing all this, so, like, Zim has this idea of, like, although I did make enough mind control Mega Moo Milk for at least a test run, perhaps I can use this on, the two elderly humans. No one's going to miss them. I like milk. Gur, get the tools. Okay. He, like, picks up a random object. Gur, that is a ball. Yes, it is. I said tools. Yes, you did. So go get the tools. Here it is. Just get the Mega Moo mind control milk. So Gur takes it. He's like, and Courage is, like, already freaking out because he's already like, these guys are gonna mind control my, Muriel and Eustace. That's not good either. So what happens is that he's Zim comes back in and he's like, as a token of my gratitude for letting me stay overnight, filthy human, I mean gracious old people, I have brought you milk. And he's like, oh, you brought us milk. Are you some kind of milkman? Yes, I am a milkman from the great country of California. It's even worse. Like, he used to, like, he's like reading his newspaper. Ugh, California milk. It's even worse. So Zim offers them the milk, and Courage is like, no! Jumps over, swats it out of his, makes it look like it's an accident, and bumps it out of their hands. And Zim, splashes on Zim, and of course, since it's a liquid, it starts burning Zim's skin. So he's running around screaming, and of course, Muriel's like, Courage, that wasn't very nice to be, go apologize to Zim. Now he's all screaming. And Eustace is just like, yeah, it kept me out of for once I'm going to say it, good dog, I ain't drinking California milk. So Zim is running around, and his disguise starts falling off, and that's when they all realize, oh crap, he's really some kind of little green man. And Zim is like, fools! I will not be defeated by a dog and a few old people. To me, Gur! There's nothing. I said to me, Gur! Gur comes, like, running through and, like, purposefully, like, jumps through the window, and he's just like, yes, my master! Apprehend the humans. Okay. So Gur tries to, they all have to run from Zim and Gur, leading to, them being chased out to the barn, where Courage, locks the door and tries to keep Zim and Gur out, and he starts, frantically trying to figure out how to, destroy the ship, but instead, what he accidentally does is switch on the ship's engines, and the wrecked Voot Cruiser, comes back to life, and it just starts shaking violently before shooting out, smashing through the door, and hitting Gur and Zim and sending them flying out into the stratosphere. And by the end of it, Zim and Gur just end up crashing somewhere else, whereas Courage is just all happy that it's all said and done. But as for Zim and Gur, they landed somewhere else in the city of Townsville, right into the house of the Powerpuff Girls, who are looking, because they just destroyed their bedroom and they're looking to get to punch something. So that's where the story ends. So I'd like to thank Swift Blitz for this Patreon request, and as always, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head over to my Patreon, and that'll hit the 3rd tier. That'll allow you access to do so. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.